in my opinion, it doesn't mean that much in the grand scheme of things if they go and lose next game.
No.
It's not like great tournament success to win one game that you should win because you're playing against a much smaller team. No, it's not great tournament success.
It's any success. It's not great success. It's any success. They had been whiffing in March.
JP, it's a good win because you're playing a team that's second in the country in scoring that plays a completely different offense that you haven't seen the entire year, and you're able to beat a senior-laden team.
It's
a good win. But
the big picture, I think if you look at the big picture, if they lose their next game and let it breathe, that's not a successful season. It's not a successful tournament campaign if you simply win one game in the tournament.
Put it this way. It could be the difference between keeping your job and losing your job. It really could.
I don't know if they were going to fire him if they lost in the first round.
They probably wouldn't because of the financial ramifications.
Right.
But
he's got a long contract.
But everybody has long contracts now because they have to give you 4 years.
I know, but has many years.
The reason why he is getting saved is because Maryland's so trapped in debt. The Maryland faithful will be butt-sized to move on if they had any power.
Hey, you could be impressed with the win. I'm not that impressed.
I'm not impressed. He needed the win. You're not listening.
He's saying that
you're not listening to me.
Joe, everyone's listening to you.
JP, oh my God.
Picture, you guys can go ahead and laugh. But if you look at big picture and you remove yourself, if they win this one game and you lose the next one,
you're looking at 1 year.
You look at next March, heading into the tournament, you're not going to look back on this and say this should have moved the needle for Maryland or Turgeon.
No one's saying it's moving the needle.
And I don't think it moves the needle for a fan base. If the fan base is clamoring,
it keeps them at bay.
If the fan base is saying that they should move on because he hasn't had success in the tournament, winning one game isn't success in the tournament. So how should their opinion change?
It's mild success. They'd had no success. They'd had no success.
You now agree with me. It's mild, not massive.
No. It's a massive win, but it doesn't mean
it's massive success beating LSU and then getting knocked out in the Sweet 16. I mean, it's
no. But it's more than just a little win against Belmont.
Drab, I would love to hear your voice.
Well, I just know that you were trying to imply that you were saying that it would have been pitchforks and torches if he would have lost a first-round game and had zero success in March. Once again, this buys him a little bit of, like, with a young team, all right, we might be on the way to something. Like, this is... He avoided a disaster yesterday.
It gives him a little bit of
Eric
equity.
was saying.
Gives us equity.
He didn't say
that.
It was a massive win for him personally. Not a massive win for Maryland. It doesn't predict any future success, but it gets him a little bit off the hot seat. And I don't know why
a little bit. They're saying it's massive. It's not.
Because if he had lost,
you're like
I think if he had lost, I'm not at all. I'm 100% correct in my
it gives him a
my
little
observation.
Bit of equity. Is it a little bit or is it massive?
It's massive the fact that he gained equity.
It gives him a little bit of breathing room versus none. It gives him a little bit of breathing room versus none.
Well, it wasn't none. You think he would be fired had they lost yesterday's game?
I think it was it was under discussion. It was in play. I think it was in play. I think it wouldn't have happened, but I think it was in play.
There's a lot of rumblings from the Terp faithful about Mark.
It's nice, and I think they could win against LSU. LSU's not overly impressive. They got a coach issue. Making the Sweet 16 would be nice.
If you believe what the donks say, it's as talented as a team as there is in the country. I expect us to lose. You know,
we also expect them to lose to Belmont.
I did. I was right for 90% of the game.
Well, they were clenching when that three-quarter court shot went up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And Maryland's last offensive possession, I didn't see the entire game. Their last offensive possession was trash. A big mountain of trash lit on fire. I couldn't believe how poor it was.
Right. So Belmont's or Maryland's? Both of them.
Both. But Maryland's before Belmont's. I was like, well, that is not a good look, especially if the Terps lose.
For such a smart Belmont team, that was probably the dumbest possession.
Dumb. Kid got trapped out high, just threw the ball into the middle of the lane, up for grabs.
I hated that timeout with 2.5 seconds left before the second free throw.
Right.
Why not wait to see if it goes in? Because, of course, he missed it, and you wasted over a second getting the rebound and throwing up some half-court shot.
Yep.
Instead of setting up the baseball pass that was weird.
But they escape. They move on. They survive in advance.
Turgeon
And that's
survives.
what it is in the tournament.
Turgeon survives.
Because Michigan State's another team that had a bit of a scare. They were down by 1, I think, with 5 minutes to go. They're a 2 seed.
That's
how it is. Survive in advance.
Izzo has equity. He could lose in the first round 5 years in a row. No big deal. Turgeon doesn't have that equity. He needed that win.